Hello everybody, welcome back. And this is Commentator's Corner for the Russian Grand Prix. And I'm in the process now of inviting everybody to the party for Commentator's Corner. Hopefully a little bit of a good turnout this week, we shall see. I'll have to wait and see how everything comes along then. But yeah, a good Russian Grand Prix. Lots of people don't like the track, but it did provide a good sense of battling tonight, so we can all be happy with that. Let's all be happy with that, why not? It's just trying to find everyone on the list and making sure I invite everybody who stays behind. That's the tough part. That's the time consuming part. It's very difficult to type and talk at the same time, but somehow I'm going to do it. Okay, I think that's everybody. Okay, invites are out then. So yeah, Russian Grand Prix. Well, pretty interesting for sure. Lots of on-track action between strategies. That's what. Well, that's what Russia's all about, the battle of the strategies. Not many places to overtake, but well, we had a great race, and first to join us in Commentator's Corner is Blizzard. Blizzard, how are you tonight?
Good.
So qualifying then, you got pole position by nearly a second. That must have been a good motivator for you going into the race.
Well,
Are you out qualified? Well, you out-qualified Squeezy by almost a second there, so that must have been good momentum then to take into the race.
yeah, I've always really enjoyed Russia for quality, so I know you did a better lap in that. So.
And then it got to the race. You had that you had that race start. Managed to keep it ahead, but you pitted in quite early for those soft tyres. I said at the time maybe it was a bit early.
Yeah, actually, my tyres were struggling a lot more than I was expecting. If you didn't know, it's just my guess, but this Force India has a bit less traction at the start of races. That's just my opinion, but I feel like it does. And my tyres fell off quite fast, so I had to pit early, and I couldn't do ultras from that floor.
And you know, you had that battling with Squeezy and with Poe, but it seemed at the end of the race there that the soft tyres seemed to come back to you as the ultra softs were wearing away.
Yeah, that's always been my plan for Russia. I've always had that strategy, and it's won me a couple of races before. Just sitting in their DRS for the last stint until their tyres die and mine don't. And it would have probably worked there, but just didn't, just right at the end.
Yeah, you had that battling with Squeezy when you were in front on the soft tyres, and he was on the ultra softs. You weren't that willing to let him have that move very easily.
Yeah.
So it's 7 less points in the gap now. Gap is 85 points with 125 points left to score. I mean, Japan next. What are you thinking? How do you like the track?
I mean, I seemed fast a couple of months ago, but I can't really get the flow of it anymore. So I doubt I'll win, but I think I can get close to it.
And how much pressure was there on you to not crash at any point, because that could just open up the title race once again?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of pressure from Squeezy, because he's always the same pace as me every race, but I think every race, as long as the gap goes down a little bit, then I reduce the pressure and it gets a bit easier for me.
Ah, great stuff. Yeah, so if you have to give yourself a position for Japan then, where would it be?
P1 to P3.
P1 to P3, so podium. Oh, great stuff. Well, thank you for talking to us, Blizzard. Not quite the day today, but still second place. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask you, what on earth happened around the final corner?
Oh, I don't really know, to be honest. I just pushed him around the final corner because his tyres were obviously much worse than me. So, and then I saw that it spun out, so I just lifted off because I didn't really want to take the win like that.
Well then, thank you for speaking to us, Blizzard, and we will see you at Japan.
Yes.
Next in the commentary box is Spike. Spike, how are you tonight?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Qualifying on the Ultra Softs then, I was half expecting you to go on the soft tyres, but you ended up on the Hyper Softs. Just sum up that race for us.
Pretty good, not too bad. I didn't have the pace of front four, so just, following around to the end. The best bit was actually keeping the tyres in check and not losing 2 seconds of that because of that. That was good.
Yeah, you seem to have a little bit of a race all on your own there. Not much battling to do out there.
No, not really. No, after the first lap, it all sort of the front guys obviously had hypers, so they had quite a big advantage on the first 3-4 laps, and then after that, I sort of was kind of holding Lambo, but not really catching him. Like I said, I think all 4 of them had slightly better pace than me tonight, so I think P5 was about as good as it was going to get, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming to the next race then, Japan. I know you're on a controller, so I'm guessing the S's are going to be a nightmare for you.
Yeah, quite possibly, but I've been working to try and actually, before I was just moaning, so I've actually just tried to adjust my setups to try and help the tyres. It does mean I lose a little bit in terms of ultimate pace, but it seemed to work tonight. I kept both the ultras and then the hypers within their working range, so I'm optimistic for Japan I can do the same.
Great stuff. And if you have to give yourself a position for Japan, where would you like to finish?
Well, everybody wants to win, but I don't know. I doubt I've got that kind of pace, but we'll have to see. So top 5 would be good.
Top 5. And let me have a look at the championships just before you go. You're in 6th place then. Ollie, who didn't finish the race, could you catch him? I mean, there's 45 points between you. Is that possible?
Like I said before, not really looking at the championship, just trying to do the best job I can till the end of the season, basically.
Oh, fair enough. Well, thank you for talking to us, Spike, and hopefully we'll see you at Japan.
You're welcome, mate.
Next to talk to us is Alan Kay. Alan, before you start speaking, I'm just going to have to do something just very quickly. Let's see. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, Alan, how are you tonight?
I'm okay. Could be better, but 8th place, take that.
Yeah, just talk to us through qualifying.
Quality wasn't great. Just carried in the field right in quality. It was grand in the race, but I got a half decent lap at the end, right at the end. Quality, we got 10, so it wasn't too bad. I knew we were starting on the hypers anyway. We could still do the hypers, the ultra soft, one stop, no matter either way. Rush is fairly easy on tyres. The only problem is, as the lads on pads now, is temperatures. The tyre wears are fairly low, so obviously being able to keep my temperatures in, I had no worry about the tyre wear, so it was that side of things, it was alright.
Yeah, you were battling with Plaster as well. That looked like a fun battle.
Yeah, a couple of fun battles, but a little bit of a battle with Lambo and Blizzard as they both combined me on Plaster. And then towards the end there with Sean, and we were closing in rapidly on Miles as well. And then a lapped Steph appeared out of nowhere into the side of me, so.
Looking at the championships then, Alan, obviously finishing behind Mays, that's a couple of points off. It's still quite close for 9th. Could you do it? Is it possible?
Possibly. Depending on how Mays' races go as well. Japan will be looking to score points. America will be looking to score points. Brazil will be looking to score points. Mexico's a possibility of people crashing out and getting points. So the only one really that worries me not to score points in between now and the end of the season to Abu Dhabi. So let's hope I can maybe pull a few points back on mine. But obviously, my main battle has been so far this season with Steph. So as you were saying last Tuesday, he had jumped ahead of me. I jumped back ahead of him on Thursday, and tonight pulls me a bit further ahead again. So keep that battle going anyway. Make sure I stay in the top half of the leaderboard.
And just talk us through Japan then. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, Japan's probably my favourite track on the calendar. Both to watch and drive. It's such a nice track to drive. Anyone who likes driving Japan. It's particularly when they're on the wheel. It's a wheel track, or as Spike said. So, but yeah, it is. It's a lovely track to drive, and it's a challenge because it's so narrow and that grass is so tight at the edge. Drop a wheel off, and that grass can easily suck you in as well. And everyone who knows Formula One knows there's always a chance of rain at Japan too.
Yeah, it's a track with a lot of heritage. Well, Alan, thank you for talking to us tonight, and we will see you at the Japanese Grand Prix.
No problem. See you then.
And I believe that wraps up Commentator's Corner for tonight, and it does indeed. So that'll do it then. Thank you very much for tuning in. Obviously, the next time we are live will be on Thursday night. As I said, it is the Japanese Grand Prix. It's a great track, and I'm looking forward to going to Suzuka once again. And as Alan said, there's always a chance of rain around that track. So you can join myself and Andy. Andy will be back on Thursday. Some say the dream team. I'd have to agree with them. But you can watch us and tune in on Thursday at 8 PM. Hopefully we will see you then. In the meantime though, I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.